Hello guys, I hope everybody can hear me. Hello. How is everyone this evening? I hope you are well. And I'm just having a few problems with my stream. Leave a comment if you can hear me well and if things are looking okay for you on your end. So just give me a shout if you can hear me, and if you are, give me a shout if you can hear me and if everything looks good on your end. So today's lesson is gonna be about. We're going to put some music on. Wait a minute. That's not the one I wanted. Wait a second. There we go. Okay. So. Oh, great. Thanks, Alessandra. Fantastic. So it's basically the first stream on C1 speaking. I like to call it like advanced speaking because C1, C2 are very similar. So I'm not gonna waste any time. So we're gonna start with one aspect of speaking. Very often people will ask you questions like, not when I say people, I mean in the exams, unfortunately for you guys. They will ask you questions like, talk about your friends, or talk about your the place where you live and your neighbors. So here are some expressions you can use when you're talking about your friends or your neighbors or people you know. You can say things like, I get on with everyone, which means I have a good relationship with everyone. And you can also say something like, I rub shoulders with a lot of people. So if you don't have a pen and a paper, this is the time to grab a pen and a paper if you have it. So if you can find a pen and a paper, that would be great. So the first expression is to rub shoulders with people. So hello Mario, nice to see that you're here. Long time no see. So to rub shoulders with people means to meet people on a daily basis, literally like, rubbing your shoulders against people. We also say to rub your elbows with others. So that's one expression you can use, because when you're speaking at an advanced level, you're using a lot of idiomatic expressions, a lot of ways of saying that you normally don't hear in school. When you're going to learn English in the schools, you don't hear that. Okay, next expression is to be on good terms with people. So if they ask you, for example, your relationship, how's your relationship with your boss, you can say, I'm on good terms with him or with her, depending if it's a male or a female. And you can say, I'm on good terms with them, bar an occasional row. So bar, B-A-R, not the place where you go for your morning coffee in Italy, or for a glass of wine in England, but it means except, B-A-R, except, bar an occasional row. So a row is when you have a verbal fight with people, and it's called a row, spelled R-O-W. If you have a very good relationship with people, you would use an idiomatic expression, which is to get on like a house on fire. So if somebody says to you, we get on like a house on fire, it means that you are literally best friends. You really get on well together. You can understand each other well. Okay, so the next expression is when you've known a person for a long time, we say we go back a long way. We go back a long way. That means I've known this person for a long time. Instead of saying that, you just say we go back a long way. So if somebody asks you, do you know Mark? You'll say, yeah, we go back a long way. That means, perhaps we grew up together. Who knows? And the next expression is when, for example, you want to say you go out for a walk. Instead of saying, I go out for a walk in the afternoon. You can say I go out for a stroll in the afternoon. The stroll is a leisurely walk. It's when you are walking without going anywhere, without going any specific place. You're not in a hurry. You say, I'm going out for a stroll. So, for instance, you can say, you know, on Sundays we go out for a stroll in a park and we have a cup of tea somewhere, a cup of coffee somewhere, or we have a drink somewhere, whatever you do. And then we, you know, sit down and chit chat, which means we have a conversation. All different ways of saying, you know, to talk. So, and if you are talking about going to discos or going to clubs, you can say we go clubbing a lot. You know, to go clubbing means to go to discos. Then you can say, well, if I'm in the mood, we go clubbing, or if I feel like it, we go out, we eat out, we dine out. You know, these are all different expressions to say we eat out. So when you you know, look for expressions which are not common in which are not in books and things, but which are common in spoken English. And the expressions I just gave you are all from spoken English. They're less common in written English, so you wouldn't be actually using them when you're writing about it, or when you're writing about something in particular. You would be using them in spoken English. So, you know, that's the thing to remember. There's a big difference between spoken English and written English. So many people use the word guys in written English, which is wrong, because guys is spoken English. So if you're writing an essay or something for your teacher, make sure you don't use the word guys unless you're writing an informal email. That's it. So if you have a question, pop that in the comments now, because I can take them. Because remember, this stream is all about learning English, and it's for the students who are dedicated, who want to improve their listening as well as their speaking ability. So if you have a question, now's the time to pop it in. Otherwise, I'll just go ahead. Now, very often people will ask you questions like, how long have you been learning English? And you want to say that your English is not very good anymore because you haven't practiced it for a long time. You can say, my English is a bit rusty. Rust is when you leave a piece of metal outside in the rain, in the sun, in the snow, in the wind, in the dark, in the light, and it becomes all red. That's rust. So you can say my English is a bit rusty because it's not good. I haven't practiced it for a long time, and like iron, which goes rusty, my English has gone rusty. And then you can say things like, I struggle with pronunciation, or I struggle with phrasal verbs, or I struggle with speaking in general, you can say. Or I'm quite good at speaking, you know, if you want to say that. Another expression to say, I don't understand grammar maybe, or I don't understand certain things, you can use the expression, I can't get my head around it. I can't get my head around grammar. It means I don't really understand grammar, or I can't get my head around phrasal verbs, because many students can't. So that is an expression to mean that you don't understand something, which is, you know, another way of saying that. That's an idiomatic expression. Very important to learn the idiomatic expressions, because if you can master them, you sound very good. You sound very natural. It gives you, you know, a very good naturalness and unique thing that people have when they speak English naturally, you know. So you move away from very static, stilted English to very smooth one. So when you don't understand something, you can't understand why something is happening, you can also say, I can't figure out, for example, I can't figure out why I am making this mistake, or I can't figure out why I can't improve my writing, for example. Because if you're doing an exam like an IELTS exam, or like a CAE or proficiency exam, Writing is one part which is going to be very difficult to come to terms with, because generally speaking, in writing, examiners are very tough. They expect you to write really well, and that's the problem. So you can say, I can't figure out why I can't get good marks in writing. I can't understand. So it's a phrasal verb. It means figure out. Hey, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to our channels, do subscribe. And there is a video on phrasal verbs. Look it up on the playlist. You'll find it very useful indeed. So find that and watch it. It's really, really useful. Okay, so when you learn a language very, let's say, not in schools, very informally, when you're walking around in the street, let's say in Lithuania, and you're learning the language. In English we say to pick a language up, or to pick it up. For example, I went to Egypt and I picked up some Arabic, like, you know, saying hello or thank you, and that means to learn it very informally. There's no structure involved, so some people can actually pick up English better on the street than they can in schools. Let me know if you have the same kind of experience, if you've had an experience where you've learned English maybe or another language more easily. I think that it's just a matter of character, because me personally, I picked up a bit of Italian like that, and then I just read newspapers and tried to understand what was in there. So that's the way I never went to school. That's probably why I can't speak very well. So that's one way of learning in English. Another way, another expression is to convey the meaning. That's an expression that you use often when you're trying to express a complicated notion. For example, if you're writing an essay or you're speaking, you can say, what I'm trying to convey is, it means what I'm trying to say is. So the message I'm conveying is, you know, and then you say whatever you want to say. That's another expression which is very good. Some words which are used for speaking in general, like, you know, we use the word speak, say, then we know the word shout. There are some other words which are very important in spoken English. For example, whisper. Sorry, my headphones are playing up. Whisper. Whisper is W-H-I-S-P-E-R. It means to speak very low, and oh goodness me. Okay, there we go. Speak very low and make sure that nobody can hear you. So you're whispering a secret message to someone and you're making sure nobody can hear you. Another word is mumble, when you're speaking but you're not making any sense, especially, for example, in your sleep. So we use the word mumble in this case, M-U-M-B-L-E. Another word is Yammer. Yammer is actually an app. You know, Yammer is, I'm not sure if it's a chat app or some kind of a social network. It's it means to talk foolishly, stupidly. Yammer, Y-A-M-M-E-R. If you're talking non-stop in a stupid way, we say you're yammering. You know, that's one way of saying you're talking stupid. Another one is to gab, which is talking long time on, things which are not important. We say gabbing. You're talking about something for a long time which is not important, especially like, sometimes children do that, and they go on and on and on, and the word for that is gab. So there is a lot of vocabulary here. I reckon that as you become more advanced and you start getting a bit more confident, make a list of a few of these expressions and just chill and relax and use them one at a time every now and then. Don't try to use all of them all together because it won't sound right. So As you practice, you will realize that you actually need those figures of speech to push your language forward. You will realize that as you speak, you will become more confident, and you will sound better. And if you're doing an exam, like an IELTS exam, for example, many of my students are doing IELTS exam, the problem seems to be that they don't know what to say and they get stuck. And speaking in an advanced way is the last thing on their mind because they're thinking what to say. Now, just a piece of advice, many of the questions in the IELTS exam are nothing to do with language. They're to do with content. So you need to know what to say before you can actually say it, because language in the end is just a matter of conveying a message, you know, to use the word convey. If you know what to say, then you can go on and say it. So often it's not a question of I don't know how to say that, it's just I don't know what to say. I haven't a clue, you know, I don't know what to say. So if there is a question like, why do young people have better relationships than, or more friends rather, why do young people have more friends than older people? It's a question which requires a lot of thinking. So you can start by saying young people do have a lot of friends than older people, and the reason for which is unknown to me, but I reckon that it could be because they are in the school and they have a lot of people that they meet on a daily basis. They rub shoulders with hundreds of people every week. Some of them they get on with like house and fire. Some of them they have rows with, while older people or old people have limited possibilities to meet. Newer people, their relationships go back a long way. Here you go. We've used some of these expressions that we learned today. So I hope this short stream session was useful to you. It's a matter of just practicing, you know, just get a friend who speaks to you, who can speak to you in English, and have a conversation. That's the best way I can say it. Thanks very much for watching this video. Press the like button, and see you in the next stream, which is actually tomorrow morning, which is for lower level students. So there will be some Italian in there, and there is another stream on Thursday. I'll be back here with an advanced video next week, I believe, about the same time. So thanks very much for joining in. I shall see you in the next one. Bye for now. Peace.